Nobody asked for it, but here it is. My 3-week periodization for powerlifting. It's a modification of the periodization set up from Juggernaut Training Systems. Go watch this if you haven't. It's got some good info if you don't know a lot about periodization for lifting. I would also like to preface this by saying you are not me. This will probably not work for you. This program works well for me because I've tweaked it for years and continue to learn what works well and modify it as I go. Any program works so long as you are able to understand what your body responds to well and incorporate that in. No copy and paste program is going to be perfect. You have to learn how to change it. My days are split up into levels of volume. Low volume days. Usually 1 to 2 heavyweight, low rep exercises with high specificity towards the main lift of that day. If I'm working on a strength cycle, I'm working up to a top set of 1 to 3 reps, somewhere around 90 to 100%. You can call it a day after these 2 heavy exercises. I used to do that and see good results, but I've started adding in 2 to 4 accessories and a little bit of cardio because it just makes me feel less trashed after the heavy sets. For my accessory work on a low, I'm adding in exercises that will help me build up my weak points, around 6 to 8 reps, 4 to 8 sets each exercise. And for example, in this cycle, I'm actually trying to build my Hank Hill ass, so on squat days, I'm adding in things like hip thrusts, abductor machines, and hamstring curls. Medium volume days. Usually 1 to 2 medium weight exercises, still with high specificity towards the main lifts, working up to a top set of 3 to 6 reps, around 70 to 90%. For my accessory work, still around 3 to 4 exercises, 5 if I'm feeling pretty horny for the gym, of 8 to 12 reps hammering things that suck about me, like shoulder press and flies on bench days. Generally, I will also add 1 AMRAP set on one of my accessories, like a huge drop set on the pec fly machine. High volume days. Pretty much all light work with hypertrophy, 1 to 2 main exercises with some specificity. Sometimes I still do something like raw 3s because as long as I'm not in my gear like my squat suit, my bench shirt, or deadlift suit, I won't have nearly as much systemic fatigue, so it usually doesn't affect my upcoming heavy day. My sets float around 6 to 8 reps on my main lifts, and then I go to 8 to 12 reps for 4 to 5 accessories, usually working up to a top set of 8 to 12, and then doing 1 to 2 AMRAP sets on most accessories. Deload. I don't have deloads programmed in. I choose to do deloads when I'm feeling particularly trashed. I don't want to program in deloads when I don't necessarily need it that week, when I can still go heavy and not risk missing some good training days. Exercise selection for main lifts. Squat. Squat with any amount of gear like sleeves, wraps, suit and wraps, briefs. Box squat. Good mornings, pin squats, and hip thrusts. Bench. Bench with any amount of gear, raw, elbow sleeve, slingshot, bench shirt. I also have board press, floor press, pin press, and incline bench. Deadlift. Deadlift with any amount of gear, raw, briefs, suit, straps, and rack pulls, good mornings, Romanian deadlifts, and hip thrusts. These are my main lifts for the first 1 to 2 exercises of the day. There are a number of other exercises you could be doing, but these are the ones that I enjoy. Alongside these 3 groups of exercises, there are any number of possibilities when you start adding in accommodating resistance into the mix with bands, chains, reverse bands, varying heights of pins, boxes, and boards, or even stance width. Just play around with it and find what works, and remember, what works now might not work a year from now, and you have to continue to find what works for you. On to my actual periodization. Week 1, Sunday, low volume squat. Monday, medium volume bench. Tuesday, high volume deadlift. Wednesday, medium volume squat. Thursday, high volume bench. Friday and Saturday are both rest days. Week 2, Sunday, high volume squat. Monday, low volume bench. Tuesday, low volume deadlift. Wednesday, I rest. Thursday, low volume squat. Friday, medium volume bench. And Saturday is a rest day. My rest days do change occasionally. After heavy deadlifts, I generally need a full day to recover, especially before more heavy squats. But generally, I like 2 consecutive days of rest. Week 3, Sunday, medium volume squat. Monday, high volume bench. Tuesday, medium volume deadlift. Wednesday, high volume squat, and Thursday, low volume bench. Friday and Saturday are again rest days. Remember, this works for me and probably will not work for you unless you are modifying it. Days also change a lot depending on what I have going on in my life, but the most important thing in lifting is keeping consistency and having some sort of structure in your lifting and doing what you suck at. This is the part of the video where I tell you to subscribe or I will throw rocks through your fucking window.